All right, week 4 hybrid B. Week 4 hybrid A has a video, so make sure you guys watch that. I'll leave that one for you guys. We'll review B in class today. All right, questions 1, 2, 1 and 2. 1, 2, and 3 goes together? Yeah, questions 1, 2, and 3 goes together. So this is weight-dependent dosing. For question 1, our first step is to convert to kilos. How do you convert to kilos? Divide by 2.2. How many kilos did you get? 80? 80 kilos? Ooh. What is it? Let's see. 176 divided by 2.2. 80. It's just 80. It is 80. It's okay. Alright, so we found out that was 80 kgs. And most likely we're going to use that for our next step in number 2. So for number 2, it says how many milligrams of drug per dose? So here, per kilogram of body weight, we're going to give them 10. So since they're 80, we'll give them 10 milligrams each. So in a dose, they'll get 800 milligrams. And then lastly, for number 3, we found our order per dose, which is 800. And they gave us our supply. So you just have to do order over supply. 800 is our order per dose. 100 milligrams per 1 ml is our supply. Yep. So should be on. Question 2, based on their body weight, which is 80, we multiply by the milligrams per body weight. So multiply by 10. Yep, 800 milligrams. All right, let's go on. 4, 5, and 6 will also go together. So 4, just like 1, 110 pounds divided by 2.2. How many kilos is that? 50, right? So good. So for the next step, we'll start with that 50 kgs. And we'll multiply by the order. How much drug is ordered per kilogram? In this case, it is 5 milligrams. So your total per dose is 250. And lastly, order over supply times the amount in this case. So our order was 250 milligrams per dose. Our supply here is 1 gram, so we'll convert that to milligrams. So that's 1,000 milligrams per 10 ml. So this time we do have a volume to contend with. Yep, so you would give them 2.5 mLs per dose. Seven, 8, 9 will go together. So for 7, 198 pounds divided by 2.2. What does that yield? 90 kgs. Very good. Order per dose. So this is going to be a little bit different because we have to divide by 4 doses. They don't want the daily amount. They want the per dose amount. So, yep, first we multiply by 25 milligrams and then we divide by 4 doses. That's the new thing for this question. How many milligrams per dose? Yeah, let's put it in there. 562.5 milligrams. We'll round at the end. And then for 9, 1 gram per 5 mLs is our supply. So we'll change the 1 gram to 1,000 milligrams per 5 ml. Divided by 1,000 times 5. So we'll get a weird number. So let's do 2.8. 2.8 mLs for that one. And 11, 12 and 13. So we have a volume and a known concentration. So within that volume, 100 mLs for question 10, how many grams are there? So the math is to take your mLs, multiply by your percentage, and that will give you grams. Okay? Yeah, it's 10. So let me show you how to do the math. So take your 100 mLs, and you must be in mLs, and multiply by 10%. So if you have a percent symbol, you can use it. And you're done. So on your calculator, you have a percent symbol. If you don't have a percent symbol, then multiply by the decimal, which is 0.1. And you should come up with the same answer, which is what? For number 10? Should just be 10, right? Yeah, so do 100 times 10 and just push percent. Don't push equal after that.
10?
Yeah, so you should end up with 10 grams. So you don't have to push equal, just push the percent button. 11, what's our volume? What's our percentage?
10.
D10, yeah, that's 10%. So what would your answer be for 11? Yeah. All right, so 100 mLs, same. Punch it in. You gotta punch it in. 10 and 11 was 100 mLs. Makes it easy. Percent is per 100. 12 and 13, now we're not using exactly 100 mLs. So for 12, it's 750 mLs times 10%, 0.1. Yeah, yeah. So either way you do it, you should end up with 75 grams. For 13, we have liters. So again, you need to convert to mLs. This time our percentage is 90%, 0.9. So what is 90% of 750? Yeah, I would agree.
0.675.
Oh, you push the percent. Don't push the percent. This is already a decimal.
Oh, so if it is that, wait.
Yeah, so if it's 90%, then push the percent symbol. But if it is the decimal, then just push in the decimal.
Okay, I got 675.
90% equals to 0.9.
So if we see a percentage all the time, we just do the decimal part instead?
Yeah, if it's a percent, if you want to use 90, push in 90 and your percent symbol. But if you want to use the decimal, then just punch in the decimal. Cause
okay. Because they're all percentages.
yeah. But a percentage is a decimal. You learned this in week 1, right? So it's the same difference. Fraction, decimal, percentage is the same. Same difference. So whether you multiply by 90 and the percent symbol or 0.9, it's the same. You'll get the
So
same.
we would write, for the answer, there's still a decimal in there.
Then you did it wrong. Then 90% only or 0.9 only? Yeah, either or. So go back to this guy here, number 10. So if you do by percent, push the percent symbol. If you just use the decimal, then just use the decimal.
But even for 0, for without the percentage, I just
Which number?
Number 13.
So what'd you push in?
0.75 times 0%.
Yeah, that's it. You don't need the percent symbol. So no percent symbol because it's already the decimal.
What's the decimal?
Are you doing number 12?
Don't push the percent symbol. Do 750 times 0.9.
I'll do it so you know.
Punch it in. Punch it in.
I did. I put 0.75
I'll punch it in.
times
No.
0.9.
No, you want mLs, not liters. You're in liters. That's why. You're in liters. You have to convert to mLs.
So 13 is
So that's where you're at. You got to be in mL. So the equation is mLs. You can't be in liters.
Okay, I got 675.
Okay, good. So we're on the same page. What was your question?
number 13
What'd you get?
is 68.
Wrong.
Uh,
Huh?
0.75 ml will be
No, you want liters. That's 0.75 liters.
times
So you
1000.
So it's, yeah. Then multiply by, so you got to look at your units. 750 mLs times 90%. Make sure you end up with 675.
Yeah, that's what I 675.
So as long as you end up with 675, you'll be fine.
Yeah, I got the 675.
Okay, so you're good. So we're going to go backwards now with 14 and 15. So your units must be in grams and mLs. So make your fraction, just like week 1. Numerator divided by denominator. And then you times 100 to go to percentage. Right? So it's nothing new. We're just going to put units to our fraction. So plug in your grams over your mLs, then times 100%. So for 14, we have 25 grams over 100 mLs times 100. You will get what percentage? 25%. 15, 8.5 grams over 100 mLs. Don't forget to multiply by 100 to get to percentage. 8.5. So very similar to the first two on when we had to find grams. Whenever you're dealing with the 100 mLs, it'll make your life easier. Now in 16 and 17, we're not using 100 mLs. So here we got to set it up. 50 grams in 50 mLs is what percentage? What did you guys get?
Oh, I got 100.
Yeah, it's 100%. So that would be pretty much pure drug. 17, 25 grams over, so these are liters, you got to change to mLs, 250. Don't forget to multiply by 100.
16 is 100.
16 is 100%, yeah. So just enter in 100.
You have to put a sign, no? Just
Yeah,
100.
yeah, just 100, just the numerical value.
So 17 is 10?
Yep, 10% for 17. So just set up your fractions, grams over mLs times 100. All right, number 18. So flow rate is mLs per hour. Drip rate is drops per minute.
17 is 10.
17 is 10%. Yeah. So for number 18, they're just asking for flow rate, mLs per hour. So just put the mLs, 500 mLs, over 4 hours, and simplify. Yep, so just enter in 125. Now if you want to convert from flow rate to drip rate, it's just 2 steps. So your first step is to divide by 60 minutes. And your second step is to multiply by drops.
125.
Yep.
19. Change from
19. How many mLs do we have?
1,000.
1,000 mLs. And the hours is 6. So simplify that.
Did we round it up or did we just?
Yeah, round it to the nearest ml. So what'd you get? 167. So you want to go with 167. All right, now we got to go to drip rate. But that's no sweat. So remember, step 1, divide by 60 minutes. Step 2, multiply by drops. So start off with the flow rate, 250 mLs per hour, no, 4 hours, over 4 hours. First step, divide by 60 minutes to change the hours to minutes. And then the next step is to multiply by the conversion factor, in this case 15 drops per ml, to convert mLs to drops.
62.
Round to the nearest. Do you need to round up or down?
62.
62.5?
0.4 wasn't.
It's
Oh, okay.
15.625.
Yeah, I had that too.
So round up or down? 60.
15.6, right?
How many? Uh-oh.
Because it's 250 divided by 4 divided by 60
Divided by 4, divided by 60,
times 15.
times 15. So 16. So 15.6, yeah, about 16. So we'll round up to,
15.625.
yeah, round up to 16 GTTs per minute for that.
I feel like sometimes I don't know when to round.
To the nearest one. Usually the 1 ml, 1 drop for those. Just be careful if you need to round up. Micro drip tubing. What do you know about micro drip tubing? Nothing? What's the conversion factor?
1 liter is
Micro drip. What's the conversion factor for micro drip?
1,000.
Ooh, micro drip? How many drops per ml for micro drip?
1,000.
No. 60 drops per ml. Don't get this confused with eyes and ear drops. For eyes and ear drops, you're allowed 20 drops per ml.
Micro drip is not same as micro.
No, they use it different. They just mean this as small. It's not a prefix as in microgram. So flow rate, mLs over hours. So you got 1 liter, which is 1,000 mLs over 10 hours. If you divide by 60 minutes and multiply by 60 drops, what is your drip rate?
200.
Yep, so it'll just be 100 drops per minute. So the trick with micro drip tubing is the value of the flow rate is the same value as the drip rate. 100 mLs per hour, micro drip tubing is 100 drops per minute. All right, just a few more. 22. What type of allegation is number 22?
Is it water oversupply times 20%?
No, what type of allegation?
Oh,
Is it type 1 or type 2? Type 1 because the final volume is given, right? So don't worry about type 2 after your DC. You'll only see type 1 from this point on. So type 1.
Order is 500.
So what do we put in the middle?
Mine is 500.
Are you sure? What do we put in the middle?
20?
20. You want the percentages. The 500 is your last step. All right, we got supply 70, and supply 5. Then we find the difference. 70, 20, that is 50 as a difference. 5 and 20, the difference is 15. Let's add those two together. I got 15 parts and 50 parts for a total of 65 parts. So add up the right column. And our last step is to multiply by the final volume. All right, do we want the top number or the bottom number? The question asks for D70. So which number will give me the D70? Oh, this number, the top number. Yeah, you gotta follow. They want the 70.
Yeah.
Here to here? No, the percentages goes here, straight across. So the difference goes diagonally, but your percentages, just be careful, this is 5%. So you want the top number. So punch this guy in, round to the nearest ml.
So it would just be 115.
115, yeah. 0.48, you'd round down.
0.38.
Yeah, round down, 0.38. So 15 to the nearest ml divided by 65 times 500. So to the nearest ml would be 115. Round to the nearest 1 ml, or nearest 1 whole ml. $23. What type of allegation is 23?
What was 22? Sorry, answer.
I don't know. What'd you punch in?
84?
No. Wrong. 24.
50 divided by 65.
No, you don't want the bottom number. You want the top number. The question is for 70%. So you take the 70% here and you follow it all straight across. You want the top number. 15 divided by 65 times 500. Round to the nearest ml. All right, 23. What's our order for 23? Yep, so 2.5 goes in the middle. We got 10% and water, which is just 0. There's no amino acid in 0. All right, let's find the difference here. 7.5. The difference here, 2.5. Next step, add up your right column. That's your denominator. And your last step is to multiply by your final volume. Which one do we want? Do we want the top number or the bottom number? So 10%. Yep, we want this top one. So just punch in 2.5 divided by 10 times 100. Yep. Yep. All right, 24 and 25 is your last time seeing allegation type 2. So in allegation type 2, you're given a starting amount. So you gotta use that starting amount. So for 24, we're starting with 50 mLs of NS. So just keep that in mind. What you'll do is you'll set it up the same way with the tic-tac-toe grid. Order in the middle. Supplies to the left-hand side. NS is 0.9. Find the difference. 17.4. Find the difference here.
Where did you give us your appointment?
NS.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So by definition, NS is 0.9. So this is where the similarity ends. Now we got to match up our starting volume that was given. So does our starting volume go with 5.1 parts or 17.4 parts? So NS is down here, so this has to be 50 mLs. 17.4 parts equals 50 mLs. Solve for 5.4 parts. What would that equal? Solve. If 17.4 parts equals 50, what would 5.1 equal? Cross multiply. Multiply by your conversion factor. For every 17.4 parts, there's 50 mLs. So this is conversion. You guys should be able to do conversions. If not, go back to week 2. 5.1 times 50 divided by 17.4. So you're just cross multiplying. So you're just cross multiplying. No. Less. 5.1 times 50 divided by 17.4. I think you forgot to divide by 17.4.
14. Are you rounding on this? Or?
Yeah, round to the nearest ml. Round to the nearest ml. Alright, so whatever you guys get when you punch that in.
Well, if it's 14.65, would it be 14.7?
14.65.
That's what I got.
So round to the nearest 1. What number's in the ones position? 4.
Okay.
So you got to look to the right. So does the 4 stays a 4 or does it go to 5? Goes to 5. So make sure you're rounding in the correct decimal place. To the nearest 1. So it'd be 15, yes. So make sure you guys know how to round to the appropriate decimal place. Go back to week 1 if you're not sure. Alright, last one. So last time you'll see type 2 allegation. So you can purge this from your database after today.
So it won't be in our finals?
It won't be in the final. Just your DC. Orders 8. We have 5 and 20 as our supply. Our difference here is 3. Our difference here is 12. These represent parts. So my 200 mLs, how many parts does that represent? 12 parts or 3 parts? 12 parts or 3 parts? 200 mLs of lipid 20%.
So the 3 parts.
So what does 12 parts equal? So solve for 12 parts. If 3 shoes cost $200, how much would 12 pairs of shoes cost?
So you divide?
Cross multiply or you convert. This is your conversion factor. 3 parts equals 200. How much would 12 parts equal? You guys got to be able to solve this. 3 pairs of shoes cost $200. How much would 12 pairs of shoes cost?
2,400?
How'd you solve it?
I just multiplied 200 times 12.
You forgot.
Wait, no.
You forgot to divide by 3. All right. So 12 parts is your unknown.
So it's 800.
You multiply it by your conversion factor. Since this is an equality, you can use it as a conversion factor. For every 200 mLs, there are 3 parts. The parts cancel out. So 12 times 200 divided by 3. If you're cross multiplying, multiply across and then divide by 3. Same difference. So do 12 times 200 times 3. So the setup is okay. It's just the converting. You guys aren't seeing the conversion factor, which you guys did in week 2. So go back,
3 or divide by 3?
$800.
divide by 3. 3 is in the denominator. Yeah. So if 3 pairs of shoes cost $200, 12 pairs of shoes, they should charge you $800.